Roll call.
Parker.
Here.
Miscelinich. Here. Olson.
Here.
Zittergrun. Here. Jizzle.
Here.
Neal.
Here.
Okay, consider approval of the master list of educational materials for MEU vote. You want to give the information on that, please?
Sure. So at the last council meeting, there was an agenda item on there for same thing, consider approval of the master list of educational material. If you remember, it was recommended at the time to make any consideration of that contingent upon review of the Iowa Ethics Board, and council voted that initial motion with that contingency down, and instead directed staff to submit to the Ethics Board for review before any other consideration taken by council. We've received response back from the Iowa Ethics Board. That response is in Dropbox for everyone to see, and they came back and said that there's nothing close to political language in it, and so they gave their blessing. All of council has received an internal memo from legal counsel regarding that matter, as well as the Alliant document, and so that's the information that staff has to follow up on that item for council consideration.
Okay, so the basic business for tonight is to approve this educational material for MEU so they can start working on it.
And just as a reminder for all of council, I'm sure not necessarily, but for those in the room and listening on Zoom, this material would be used by the Sustainability Commission that has formed a subcommittee that would be able to take this master list of content and then use it for any kind of educational effort that it might do on the MEU vote. Council has already approved a resolution that's allocated $15,000 in expenses towards that educational effort, but in that resolution said council will dictate the content. So this is that master list of content for you guys to consider.
I didn't know if it was appropriate to give an update on who that subcommittee, who those members are. Does it?
Sustainability Commission did meet last week, Wednesday,
Right.
and did formulate a subcommittee that would, if council approves a master list of content, they would use this material and put that forward.
Okay.
I guess I was one of the no votes last time. I wanted to see this thing slow down. This document has changed a number of times. When I first got it from Carly Hayden Foster, she put together about a 4-page document and then grew to a much bigger document, and now it's been shrunk back down. I commend Carly for all the hard work she put in, changing different things that I felt were necessary to make it a more unbiased document, and she did a wonderful job, I think, on this. It's nice to have heard back from our attorney as well as the ethics board. They have no problem with this. They think it's a good document that we can use for educational purposes. I did hear from a constituent of mine, Jim Martin-Schramm. He's with us here tonight, but he did respond to some of the questions that Alliant had on it, and I appreciate that from Jim. And I think this document is a good document that we can use to help people answer the vital questions they need to when it comes to voting on this MEU going forward. So I think this is a good document now, and I'm in full support of it.
Are you stating that in the form of a motion?
Not yet, no.
Okay, okay.
Mayor, I move approval of the master list of educational materials for the MEU vote.
I'll second.
Motion made by Zittergrun, seconded by Ms. Linich. Any further discussion?
Just, Travis, the background on this, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page, that these are materials that would be used for creating materials that the city could use to educate voters. I mean, this is not the only thing that we'd send out, but what we would send out would be drawn from this content alone. This isn't part of a longer list. I know the shorter document was, the title, a shorter version or whatever, was confusing to some, but this is the only thing that we're approving and not a longer document.
Correct. So this list of content in its entirety will go on the city's website. Again, there's been a button created on the homepage that says municipal electric utility. All of this content will go directly on there. And then the Sustainability Commission, the subcommittee that's been established, can use any parts of that this master list of information, but nothing more than it. They have to use this content. Now, I'm sure they'll, pretty it up, and more than a black and white memo on a postcard will go out, but this is the content they will use.
Yeah. All right, thanks. I kind of knew that. I wanted to make sure that everyone was on the same page. Last week, I think, a week ago, Monday, I was, I think I reacted with appropriate seriousness to Alliance letter that came Monday afternoon. I thought that they made some important points, and I thought that they were worthy of weighing and running by our legal counsel, and I'm glad that we've had the chance to do that. I also was impressed last Monday evening by both the points that Emily made and that Brent made, both of whom maybe have more experience in these arenas than I do. Brent especially, I appreciated your familiarity with dealing in adversarial legal issues in your work in law enforcement. I appreciated being reminded that it's not always a bad thing when lawyers disagree with each other, and there's a reason we have lawyers too. I am glad for the extra time because it gave me the time that I needed to carefully consider the points Alliant was trying to make to us, and also to carefully consider the points in contradiction to what Alliant was claiming. And I am extremely grateful for the quick turnaround from the Iowa Ethics staff in responding to our request for information. I think that puts us in a really good position to make an informed vote. And so I'm grateful that state government worked very quickly, especially this close to a holiday. And I'm excited for the chance to approve this list.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Zittergruen?
Aye.
Misselinich?
Aye.
Parker?
Aye.
Olson?
Aye.
Chisel?
No.
Neal?
Aye.
Motion carried. I think that's the only thing we had on the agenda.
Correct.
So I will wish all of you a happy holiday. Take the time off, enjoy your family, and do whatever you want.
I'll echo the same thing. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Bye.
I'll move
Randy.
to adjourn.
Thank you.
Move to adjourn.
Thank you.